Hello, this is Minds and Money, and this is Andrew Thate. And today I have with me Andy Buxton, Managing Director of Alice Queen.
G'day, Andrew. How are you?
Hey, sure. I'm doing sort of great. Well, delighted to have you here with us today. You won last week's mining pitch barrel that we had. So can you just tell us a little bit about Alice Queen and whilst it's very, very attractive to investors at the moment?
Well, I think the message that got through on that pitch battle was pretty simple, that we've got two projects on the way to production. So near-term production opportunities at Horn Island, our flagship, and also our recently acquired tenements in Fiji. But then enormous exploration upside, both with New South Wales and with the other two projects. So I think the message that got through was it's a beautiful blend of both near-term production opportunities, but still some amazing upside through exploration.
Yeah. And how have the last 12 months been for Alice Queen? It's obviously been quite tough with COVID-19, but have you managed to navigate through what's been quite sort of hard times for the industry?
Yeah, well, I think actually when I think back about the last 12 months, what really springs to mind is we were just absolutely so flat out. We were just busy on every project. I just think about the numbers that we generated. We did 10,000 metres of diamond core in New South Wales. I'll just look at my notes here. We did, sort of 6,000 in diamond core on Horn Island, and then a full RC infill program of about 7,000 metres. So we were just absolutely flat out the whole year. And in hindsight, the COVID situation really didn't trouble us at all. We had crews that were domiciled in each state. So Horn Island was managed by our Queensland team and drillers out of Charters Towers, so all North Queenslanders. New South Wales likewise, everyone was New South Wales based. So apart from us in the management at head office not being able to get to the projects, really nothing changed at all. And we had a very, very a bumpy year, busy year.
Okay. And so kind of like looking ahead to 2021, what opportunities do you see for the next 12 months? And then I guess how is Alice Queen uniquely positioned to take advantage of them?
Yeah, well, I reckon that, look, there's two things that stand out. The one that I think personally I'm, myself and my board are most excited about is finally getting Horn Island into a scoping study result. As I mentioned the other day, we're about halfway through the scoping study, but if the people viewing this show look at our recent announcements, that scoping study's got some very important feeders into it, and two of those were really announced just last week. One is the TOMRA ore sorting results, which is a new technology which effectively gets rid of a lot of the waste rock, which is important at Horn Island. And also the second half of our infield drilling results, which were really outstanding, we thought. So the thing that excites me most is really hoping to get that out late July, early August, which should underpin a valuation several times our current market cap. It's been a long time coming, and I know, including me, everyone's feeling a little bit like, oh, this is taking some time, but things take time, right? And we've done, I think, a very thorough job, and those results hopefully will be underpinning that work that we've done. So that's really number one. Number two is Fiji. I mean, look, we spent a number of years trying very hard to get those licenses. Finally, we won them. And look, there's some really exciting near-term production opportunities on our Nambila tenement down there. In particular, very different to Horn in the sense that we can probably look at some toll treatment of that ore. We've got to do a number of things to get there, of course. Obviously validate some of this historical data. But in Fiji, we're situated right next to the Vatakula mine, which has been operating for 75 years, but also an up-and-coming development opportunity, which is Lion One's Te Vatu, which is even closer to us. So those two opportunities, I think, for toll treatment of some ore in Fiji and getting Horn Island into scoping really are the two things that excite me the most at the moment.
Sure. Some of our viewers might not be too familiar with regards to Fiji as a mining investment destination. They might see it as a holiday destination. But can you just tell us a little bit about, what is sort of Fiji's attitude towards the mining industry?
Yeah, well, that's a good question because, look, I think most people won't know that Fiji is a very, very big gold address. So I'll just go back with just a little bit of a step. The one that I mentioned, the Vatakula mine, which has previously, I think, for a number of years been referred to as the Emperor mine under different management. That's 75 years of production, and it's 7 million ounces of production over that period. It's still got, I think, 3.5 to 3.8 million ounces in reserve. So it's a genuine world-class mine. And that's just about 40k up the road from our Nambilla tenement, just north of Nandi. So the backdrop is, it's a fantastic place for gold. There's a lot of historic mining, Vaticola, world-class mine. And then, as I mentioned, most excitingly, these guys from Lion 1 are now in development on Tavatu, which is a million-ounce resource. But they'll by looks of things, grow that quite significantly over the course of the journey. So gold and Fiji go together almost as well as tourism in Fiji, is what I would say. Just remind me the second part to your question.
Well, no, I think that kind of like that was the sort of question. I've always thought about going to Fiji just on sort of a holiday, but next time I think I have to think about it as a mining jurisdiction as well, really. So,
yes. It was a question about what do the you can probably edit that out, but what does the government feel about mine? What's the general attitude? That's a really good question, because of course, until we got down there, I think for the first time 3 years ago to talk to the government, we were quite unaware of this. But again, without putting words into their mouth, got to be a bit careful of that. But the attitude was so pro-mining, it was almost extraordinary. I think they had instructions or a wish list from Frank Bainimarama that they wanted to get 2 new mines into production every year over the next 10 years. That was an internal goal that they communicated to us. So they're pretty big plans when you think about what is a small population of 1 million people in a relatively small land space. They're big plans. But what it does tell you is that the mineralisation in Fiji is not only gold. There's a whole bunch of other things that I won't bother going into, but it's a highly mineralised archipelago of islands that, if you look at it, apart from tourism, the next biggest export generator is mining. So, very pro, very supportive of us. So it's a good place to be.
Excellent. Well, once again, congratulations on winning the mining pitch battle last week. That was a well fought and well deserved win. Certainly encourage all of our investors listening in to this interview to go and check out Alice Queen. And thank you very much for your time. That was Andy Buxton, Managing Director of Alice Queen, with Andrew Tate from Mines and Money TV.